Welcome tonight. This is Day Trader Rockstar Thursday night special show. I was just down in the city to a car show with my son, which is cool, down in the town here in Nyack. They had a nice little car show, so I went with them, and then he drove back, and I'm going to do this special show, help people with their anything they have, any issues you have with your scripts, trying to get scripts going, templates. You need questions asked about charting, the technique, the methodology, anything. Helping you with the get the Bullock set up. The 90% coupon is active, which is a good opportunity. If you have, if you're scared of it, feel free to ask any questions. And good job. Let me get out of that long. All right, I just took it off. I didn't take it off fast enough. We want to always take it off into the rotation, or at least half off. I had 4 or 5 contracts on there. I just sat down and I noticed it, so I said, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to take that." I said, "That's a divergence, and that's a quad rotation right there too." And what that does for us, and this is very important because it's part of the talk I wanted to give today. I actually wanted to give a talk tonight also on something that's very difficult sometimes in trading. Knowing when the move is going to be a big move or a small move, and when to get out. So hold on, I'm getting some ice. Getting there. Hold on. Give me a break. Hold on. We got out, right? We got out. Perfect. Damn, we're good. Hey, Kirk, watch what happens here. Let's talk. We're going to really get down, and we're going to actually fix some issues. Because we all go through the same issues. And sometimes we see it afterwards. It just has to be pointed out again. First thing is the first thing ever in trading. Not every day is going to be a good day for trading. There are going to be days that you get great setups and are very easy and big channels and stuff. And of course you're going to look back and say, "Boy, that was an easy day. Look at all those great setups." And then there's going to be days where you don't see the setups, but we try to make the setups happen. So we have to really define the setup, and we have to define the exit, and everything around that should be fine. It's on paper it works. All right, on paper it works. Whoa, look at this market drop here. Whoa. So the kind of a safety net on all these things is a couple of major things that we need to do. Hold ourselves off until we really understand, that we really see divergences. The divergences are going to be your best setups. After that, you can start looking at flags and stuff. But if I were anybody, just saying, all right, you want to be successful, you really just got to focus on one type of setup, and even cut it down to like the 3-minute time frame, and even cut it down to what we call a quad divergence. Now, divergence is one thing, but having a quad rotation is when all 4 stochastics get oversold at the same time. We tend to get those bigger moves. Now, this is a very difficult one. That sneaky candle that came down, that was kind of a divergence, quad divergence. It was very hard to spot that, and so you can't really count it and be realistic in everything we do and say that would have happened so fast. Maybe you might have been able to see it, but that was fast. You don't want to get caught up here on your trade and then have to deal with this pullback before even trying to get, and this is at the end of the day, so that's not a realistic trade anyway. That's right at 4 o'clock. Oh, that was so good. I needed that Coke. So we actually know what works, and I was going to actually start off with a little because I think some people were having a hard time. Like we had small divergences, but they moved back up quickly, and we could feel the overall trend is up. The overall trend is up because of that 60-10 and the feel of it. You see the VWAP's way down here, the 50, the 20, the 200 all spreading out. It's usually strong. The biggest thing is when this thing is up here about 90 and it hangs up here for a while. It's just that strength doesn't disappear. It's like it just doesn't drop off. It'll maybe slowly get tired and start to roll over. But most of the time, once you get that embedded stochastic, the market's either going to be a trending market up, or trending market down, or a choppy sideways type of, And when you have that sideways type of choppy market, you could see the 60-10 kind of it'd be more like this. It'll up, down, very easy to kind of look at this chop. It's bigger ranges, but more going nowhere. When we have the stronger uptrend, we don't get the pullbacks here. And when you don't have the pullbacks, you don't have part of the formula. You're only dealing with half of the formula. You're dealing with a little divergence here, right? Definitely a divergence. If you get that, it pulls back. The next, and at what point do you want to make sure you're taking profits? Well, I tell you, 9 out of 10 times that first rotation is where you're going to get a bounce. So it's up to you if you want to take what you get, and get it sometimes it's not a lot, because you might not be trading a lot of MESs, and so you might be getting like $10, $15 to $20 a trade, and then commissions. It's a long struggle, but it's one thing keeping your mind in the game and doing it until you have a better setup. And there is great setups. Like if this was very close to a great setup right here. This was a coiled channel. 4 coil, 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4, if you have a trend line and a trend line on the stochastics, basically like this, and you have a trend line on this, they both break at the same time. So it's a very good, easy timing trade. It's one of my favorites. It's so, if you have something like that, you got to take it. If you have a trade like this, you have to take it. But if you don't have it, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't mess with it too much. And here, look at this. This was kind of a divergence where it's kind of stretching this. It wasn't really steep. You could feel that this was above 80, 90. Whenever this is above 80, 90, you take a divergence, most likely it's going to be a flag. You're going to get a little pullback into the flag. And this is kind of like, you can see it was really it did pull back to the 50. It actually worked. And actually that divergence actually worked. But once it got down to oversold on the 60, it started heading right back up. So this will work every single time. It's up to you if you wanted to work, like you could probably get a high batting average taking these off every time with the 9-3. You might not have your totals might not be as high as you want them, but it's almost like hitting singles until the big easy pitch comes. And when the big easy pitch comes, you could make $200-300 in a trade very easily. And that's on like the 3-minute time frame or multiple time frames on the bot. Those setups might only happen 1 or twice, maybe 3 times a week if you're lucky. A good pure, and we'll go over pure. Like what's the number one? What's the number one setup? All right, the number one uno setup. I want to say it's a quad divergence, and they all look the same. So I want to show you a general look at one, a quad, and you can see I'm going back and I don't see anything here but represent it. But when we do have it, this might be one here. All right, yeah. So here's your quad. That's all 4 stochastics, undersold, oversold, and then if a divergence comes during the quad or right after the quad, and this is a 14.3, 44, right here. This is kind of the bottom here, and this is a pretty decent little, let me get this. That's a nice candlestick too, a little good candle that kind of puts that in there. But you can see, we took this trade, or did I? Yeah, this looks familiar. I have to go back. But look at the results from it. Look at the results. So that's what I call a super signal. It has to have the quad rotation and it has to have the divergence. All right, that's the best setup there. If you waited on this and maybe you get 6 a week, you're probably going to get 6. You're going to be in a profit 6 out of 6 times. If you could keep yourself in the profit and take the profits off is the big question. Prop trade alert, super signal alerts. That is the that's the futures trade alerts. And you know what? You won't get anything on that. Right now you're getting alerts when I send the alerts out, usually they're stock alerts or site alerts. They go out in what's called the trade alert box, and that gets sent out. Usually it's stocks. It's my stock positions. Very rarely do I put a futures trade in there because it happens. These things happen so fast that some people don't get their emails right on time. So what I use now for any super signals, of course, is the broadcast myself. I'm announcing it live on the air. I'm trying to do that. And if it's a super signal and very important, then I put it over on the Voxer network, which is a special app that you can get the alerts on. Only the super signals, though. I don't do the whole show. It's just if I have a super signal, I want to get it on the Voxer, and that's going to come an alert on your phone, and that's instantaneous. So that's what you have right now. Now, there's been a lot of requests for me to put a alert on the Rockbot channel. And I could do that. There's not a problem with that. What I have a problem with is I don't have the hardware right now to do that. So I have to get another computer. So I'm going to run the Rockbot separately on that. And that way I can have its own, because everything will feed off. If I open up the mic on if I broadcast it through the broadcast software, it's going to pick up my other audio on the site. I'm using the same computer. So that's the only reason it's keeping me away from that. And I'm going to do that, believe me. So what I could do, and the next upgrade of the Super Signal is actually going to have an audio alert that it's going to call from your computer. So I'm going to give you a file, and it's going to, I think I have it. Let me see if I have it. I'll tell you what it sounds like. I forget how I named it. Audio by alert. This might be it. Hold on.
Super Signal by alert.
Yeah. So something like that. That's one of the alerts I had. We're going to program into this.
Super Signal by alert.
That would be an audio alert that you would get. I would just say, download it to put it in your one of the folders. I'll tell you, and then I'll just call from it. Everyone will be, and I'll just call that file or whatever file you want to put in there. But you have to match up the name, so I have to give a generic one. So that is on the plan. That is definitely in the planning stages, or at least I want to do that. But getting back to this, look at that ITI. Where did this come from? Check out this ITI chart. Now this is I took that ITI buy alert JPEG. That was back here in March 2022. Let's see what it looked like, what happened with this. I know it's a lot higher now. I'm curious. Whatever happened for that. I wonder if that's still on my chart. Sorry for the... What was it again? It wasn't Illinois Toolworks. No, it wasn't that. It was the other one. It was ITI. ITI. See, it's $7 now. Oh, that was because it was like a reverse split. No, that was back. Oh, that's 2022. There we go. Oh, this wasn't a reverse split, was it? No, this wasn't a reverse split. Well, anyway, I just wanted to go back because I remember that falling wedge pattern. I could see it on here. I'm going to go all the way back when I did that chart. Look at this. It's still there. That's pretty cool. Now if I could just zoom into it. I don't know how to do that. Too good. And see how long it took to break out. Now that's a falling wedge pattern, but on a crappy stock. But typically when you do get down to that end of that wedge pattern, that actually came to the end. typically you don't get down to the end. I'm just curious to see what happened there. Yeah, so I was looking for it to break out here. It actually dropped off further and came back up. But that trend line did hold up. Eventually, now it's $7. Whatever that. Yeah, Greg. If the prop accounts are very kind of just easy to understand. Don't overthink them too much. They're the simulation account. You pay a very cheap fee for it, and with that fee, you get the opportunity to qualify by, accepting their rules, which is, hit a certain profit target without hitting a stop area. And you can keep the account open as long as you want until you reach those goals, or you what it called blow up the account. And blowing up the account means it's just inactive, but you still got to go in there and cancel it because they'll recur a charge like $14 or whatever you're signed up for. So if you do blow up an account, and everyone does, that's part of the learning process. When you do blow up an account, you just open up another one. You just do the same thing. What you should do is take advantage of the better coupons, buy multiple accounts. Just go in there and go, all right, 90%, buy like 3 or 4 25K accounts. If you want to do it that way. Because I don't know when this coupon ends. Normally, 90 is a good coupon. They've had this on for a while. But, when you get them like that, they're really good to have. And I think you have plenty of time. I think it's probably good for 10 days. Yeah, Bolonox. The DTR 90 is the 90%. So that's a good coupon right now. So if you blow up your account, you could just start up another one. You already have your information in there. You just go back into your profile. You click on, you'll go up in your dashboard and then in the Bolonox there'll be like accounts or like one of the tabs will tell you is where you could purchase an account. Well, another way, I like the 25 actually because they're kind of one-on-one for profit and trailing stop. That's 1,500 both ways. I think the 50 is 3,000. You need a $3,000 profit, and the stop loss is I think 2,500. But I'm not 100% on that. But if you could do. They're so close in price, $17.50 versus $14. It's worth getting the 50K. Definitely worth it if you had the choice. You always go for the bigger one. You want to qualify. The object is if you qualify, that's the size you want. That's going to give you your opportunity to make money, and you want to, preferably have the biggest account available to you. So take that into consideration. So what do we got here? I was actually looking at this. Oh, yeah, so I am working on the alerts.
Super signal by alert.
That's not the one I would never do something that bad. That's awful. Yeah. You know what? The voice is not that bad, but it's too boxy for me, like too robotic. I remember this song. This was a great scene with Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. And he's dancing. He plays that guy. You couldn't even tell it was him. I mean, you could, but he was a bald guy. And how he yelled at the jungle, the what do you call it, the gorillas. I love that movie. It's so funny. My son loved that movie too. Yeah, I think they go over that. They also have a, there's some fine print on, I think it's the first 10,000 is, 100% yours, and then they split it 90-10. But on the goal amounts, I don't know if they do it case by case. Lots of times you want to look at these also when there's that big news event coming up. You know, this market's giving us some big moves. So it's not unreasonable to qualify in one day. Now the thing with the Bullinox, you have to trade a certain amount of time. I just got a notice before that I had to take a trade on my account because I wait for my qualified accounts. I don't trade this chop. I wait when I stress the importance of waiting for the trade, waiting for that good trade to come. I'm not. That is one thing I know, that a good trade is coming, and it's just about being in front of it, or it's being there when it happens, because then you just unload it. You take out your, if you have any, that's where you trade your real money. There's other stuff, trying to figure out, nickel and diamond this stuff up and down. It's all about waiting for the good setup, switching over to ES. But there'll be times, these prop accounts you can, the 950 reversals, the Paul always likes to take the 950 reversal. He likes to take one ES and put a 10-point stop and look for 10 points. And that's, and 950 is a big time that we usually get rid of reversals. So it's a good strategy. So you could take it, you could use these accounts, you could use these prop accounts like that. Trade at the open, you're going to get the biggest moves. It's 50-50, but it could get you to your goal pretty fast. And then when you do get that goal, even though you didn't do it the proper way, because perfect practice makes perfect, you happen to get there, you have to know, do not trade that account under any circumstances like that. You have to, that is real money then. And you just want to take your divergence, quad divergence, 5-minute divergence. Wait, even if you're trading one, it's a one-time fee. You're not going to get charged for it. You could hold that account as long as you want, as long as you're trading within the 5-day period. You can't let it go dormant. You have to trade it every couple of days. I'll catch on to that. No, that's good, and it's good. You guys start, it's a good, I think it's great for traders because trading, we know how hard it is. You know how hard it is. So why would you try to trade it with your own money until you find out what works for you? And if you could develop your discipline, and your patience and understand there's only one path to making money, and it's the path the market's going to give you, and you trade outside that path like it's going to give you setups. We always see these pullbacks. We're a master of the pullback. What was this here? Hold on. We're going to get these channel pullbacks, and inside these channel, most of the time we'll get those divergences. Now, this was kind of a little divergence right here. I didn't even pay attention to it. You can see, I'll put that candle there, and I'll say, where was this? Well, this was about already halfway up here on the way to 30, 40. As this little candle came down. So that's something I always look for. Not that it's giving you a lot, but, being on the right side of the market, hard not to be in the market, right? Especially with a prop account. It's like, it's not my money, but don't want to get into that habit. That's awful. That's an awful habit because the market knows that, and it's going to be, you're going to, if anything, you got to clean the slate, do everything opposite. Do everything opposite. Buy when you're scared. Sell when you're... So, excuse me. So if you're able to qualify, if you get a funded account, then you could start, hey, I could do this. This is a great training ground to do. You start to see what works after time too. Everyone ends up coming back here. By the way, I mean, I understand traders come in and they're learning and they're trying to find their own way and stuff, and it's very hard. I've been doing this since '96, and I've studied all different type of markets. Especially, just everything. And it comes down to less trading is better. Over trading is just the killer of all traders. And the markets only give you good setups, and when it does, you can easily point them out. You just have to be there in front of them, and then you have to let them ride, and that's where you're going to make big money. So 3, maybe 4 trades a day. Great pivot areas. Just wait for a channel to form, in the case of a pullback. Which we like better because this market's on the roids right now. So we always want to just take that pullback. Once we get that pullback, we start looking for our divergences. Here was one right here, and we broke out of the channel. Ended up coming back down, kind of a quad rotation here. Started moving back up. Those look strong. Not really, because you have to, for them to work, you have to put that stop in. A divergence is very easy to place a stop in. That's the one thing easy on a divergence. It shouldn't be that much of a risk. Now, not all of us do that. A lot of us play, I just put it in here, I'll just man it, I'm sitting here, I'll watch everything. And yeah, you could get hit. All it takes is one smackdown, real fast drop at 10 points, and you're not paying attention. You wipe out all those small little gains. See, we're pushing up here in the 60-10. That feels so good. Just use this point here of what I typically look for in the markets. So as the day goes on, all right, market's running. We're looking for maybe a divergence top, a pullback, and if it starts pulling back, we're looking for flags. But anything, what I'm really starting to look for are these kind of just something like 1, 2, 3 channels, like 1, 2, 3. And I'll start putting that two lines, and I'll just drag the line and just start putting these in here. These are my little channels that are starting to, and either they're going to break out or they're going to come back down, but it's usually part of this pattern that we're looking at getting that pivot. So the pivot on all these little pullback channels is where the angle where it breaks out, right? Here's the pivot, here's the pullback, and here's the pivot back up. So my specialty is identifying pivots in the market. So we shouldn't even be thinking of trading anything other than the pivot points, because they're going to give us the biggest moves. And to identify those are pretty easy when it comes down to the divergence. Now, we can't really see a divergence here. One thing maybe nothing. I mean, and it moves back up. So that happens. So what? But I would still wait for that divergence. Maybe a little divergence here, double bottom, higher low right there. That's even hard to see. That's still too hard to see. Plus this is pointing down. So again, not a qualified setup, but the sell sides were qualified. So I took the sell sides here, but we got out pretty fast. If you don't get out, if this is, just you feel that the trend is strong, everything's kind of holding above the 20, 50, 200, these pullbacks are only going to last a little bit. And that becomes hard because, first of all, you might not get in until, maybe this drop here, 32. Then it's down to maybe 31. Maybe you got 2 ticks on it. And the next thing you know, you're hitting that 20 line. There's no way you're just selling for 2 ticks and maybe a tick. You're like, I'm rolling the dice. I'm going to go for the big pullback. But every time you roll the dice and you're wrong, it obscures the results. This would be fine. This is taking what the market's giving you based off the indicator. But none of us are going to pay attention to that. We want more. I came down to the point where I take it off real fast now because I see it every single day. It's like, why am I going to even just do that? It will make me look like a fool if I don't take it off. Sure enough, I take it off, and then I don't look like a fool. I look like a hero. Look at that. Move right back up. I wonder why. Oh, you paid attention. You paid attention to your rule. Most likely it's going to go back up. The first pullback, strong market, it's going to eventually move back up. We're trying to find the timing of where that is. And that usually happens in a divergence or a maybe a 1, 2, 3 channel, but normally a divergence. Sometimes it's a coil. And it's just a matter of time for another pullback to come in. And then, here again, this is what we call a flag. It's a pullback to, if it holds the 20 and touches the 20 and holds above the 85, that's a flag. So kind of the same thing here. So we were kind of micromanaging today. I think it was a kind of a harder day trying to get shorts on, because there's no way that it wasn't giving you anything. And if you didn't make anything on the shorts, that just shows you're a good disciplined trader. That's important, to make just a little money on that short. It would be great to take that off there and move on and say, whoa, look at that, just ran back up. Oh, I have that chart up here. Why do I have that chart up? Am I short? No, I'm fine. So we're gonna identify again these tomorrow, and we're gonna and what we're gonna do is, even if you see that low and that higher low and that low and that higher low, right? And you're like, wow, that was a divergence, but it wasn't high enough. You can't cheat yourself and say I would take that one but not take this one. But it is good to see, if you had that monkey on your back, try to have a divergence there to take into it. And then you have a place to put your stop. Because if you have a divergence and you have a low and it starts moving up, you automatically put your stop there. You automatically, once you see that divergence, that lower high, or that higher high, you put the divergence at the candle low. You take it off on that, everything should work fine. When you have the big setups, then you have permission to kind of let it ride. So a lot of people have been joining in from over in Europe, and I think they're real lucky because they get that 3 o'clock time frame. Just take a look at the overnight 3 o'clock. Tend to get something going around there. Nothing here. Yeah, you don't want to nitpick here too much. This was a nice divergence here, by the way. Look at this. Now, this is kind of cool. You see that little candle high there? Right here. And look how low that was. That's a fallout type of thing. That's a real big fallout. And it happened to be just right pretty much at the highs of that move. But who's going to see that at 4 o'clock in the morning? Have a cup of coffee in you for that one. Here, this divergence back here. Again, this is a situation. If we take the worst case scenario, all right? I'm just pointing out, you find me a divergence. Find me a divergence. All right? Let's find them. Let's do them. Let's take them. This is a divergence, right? It's a little lower than the 20, all right? But it didn't really go down that much. But we got to, what happened, it came down to the 20. See, I marked that off for some reason. And we got very close to the 20, but we didn't get to the 20. But we got down to 20, and then we popped back up. Maybe you got a short in here. Maybe you're break even at this point. Because it's such a strong market and this is embedded, I would take this off. There's no reason to let this stuff not. If this divergence, eventually kind of just went sideways and slowly, if it's not working good and you're kind of getting close to that 20, it doesn't hurt to take it off. This didn't do anything, so it was kind of a waste of trade. But you're not going to lose a lot on that. But this one, this was a good one. This actually pulled back to the 50. It got down to the 20. I would just take it off. Because that's the market wants to move up and down, up and down. We could get our mindset in do you want to go short here and leave for an hour and come back and see where you are? Or do you want to take advantage of the profit there, wait for the next one? Here's another one right here. It was perfect. Got oversold, eventually moved right back up. It was 2 in a row. 2 good ones in a row. Very obvious, right? I don't see it anywhere else. But I see it here, right? I'm just trying to knock this into everyone's head that when we see it, even though it's going against the grain, you know, a mental, and it's also a trend line too, I think. Normally we're like, oh, I don't want to short. Look how strong it is. It's breaking out. Why would I short? Well, because the momentum is starting to shift here, and this is going higher. And that's right when that candle comes in. You should just take that short, put the stop right above there. You can even wait for a candle, but again, you have to be ready to take it off. Maybe you get a half a tick, maybe you get 2 ticks. Yeah, is it worth it? Probably not, but you don't know until you know. And again, you're also taking first profit there. You should also kind of keep your trailing stop, break even. You know, if you want to give yourself a little room for it to run, but most likely it'll come back up in a good market. If you caught it right, you caught a nice reversal, then your trailing stop will be a hold, and you just follow it down. And I like to manually just follow that trailing stop down, usually placing it right above the moving average. If there's a moving average, it starts like we're underneath the 20, so I'll usually pull I'll pull the stop down with me, or follow it up. But they are here. They are here. This is it. Go through it yourself. You should go through these stocks all the time. If this is something you're passionate about, like I'm passionate, and we just love talking about it, and we're here together, and we're just trying to, you know, figure out the secret of the universe, right? And we figure out the secret of trading, and all give us the power, give us the freedom we want. You know, this is our ticket. This is our ticket, but we got to be so good at it. We have to be better than everyone else. And to be the best at anything, as you know, to be a professional at anything, you have to have the mindset of a professional. You have to have the elite discipline, the elite patience, the elite practice, the constant striving to be better, the discipline of not missing any good setups and taking them and taking your trade off. Follow the market, get in one with. I like this music in my background. I feel like I'm on a poetry slam. There's a nice divergence back here. So that 1250, 1245 level, I mean, it is. You could see it at the angle here. I always talk about that angle. If we got that angle above 6 degrees, anything above 10 is usually really good. It's always better when it's a high one, but hey, it's all math for us right now. Even if you were like, well, this looks like a little even if it did look like a little diverging, you force yourself in it, you got to put your stop a tick underneath that. And you think that maybe I'm looking for that. Maybe it is that. Maybe it does. Maybe that was a little divergence. It got down here. Take it. Another $50 bill, another $20 bill. I'll pick it up. It's not below me. This was perfect. Love these little sneaky little candles that come down, and they do a little reversal off of that, and it pushes right back up. That's usually a great sign. So these are little things that I know to look for. We just have to be in tune. Again, at the end of the day, we probably wouldn't take that. But that still shows up. And this is where we are right now. Wish we could do a live. Oh, right here. Look at this. You see? Let's see what happens here. Now this. I'm stretching it now. Like, I just want to hit. I want to hit. Oh, that was bad, Johnny, because I don't know what that even means. I'm not taking anything like that. All right, so I'm going to go through this here. I downloaded this XML file into the room. What you're going to do is you're going to grab the link. You're going to download that. When you click on it, it's going to download to your computer, right? And where it saves in a download file. So I'm going to click on it here. Or do you have to save it first? I think you have to right-click on it. Hold on. You're going to have to right-click on it. Where is it? Here it is. Save link as. All right. So you save the link at, and it gets saved wherever it gets saved at. All right. Then what I do is I go to it and just copy it. If it goes to my download folder, it's right here. I'll just right click on it, and I say copy. Right here, copy it. So now it's copied. Then I go to my folders here, whatever folder, however I'm going to get to it. Usually on the side, there's go to your document folder. Go to your document folder, and then go to NinjaTrader 8. All right, and then you're going to go to your templates, and then you're going to go to your chart folder. And in here, you're just going to right click and paste it. And that's going to be it. Now it's named something different because I saved it, but it should be, there it is. So now that's where it'll be. And now when you go to open up your charts, or you open up a chart, what I do is I open up the chart, and then I right click, go to templates. Hold on, let me move it down. Right click, go to templates.
My desk now.
Nice. Do you see that okay? Then go to load. I'm going to move it over so you can see it better. Trying to manipulate my whole charts here so you can see everything. So right click on it, templates, load, and then Rockbot template or this one, either one, and click on it, and then load it, and it'll now maybe it's a different color. What happens is it gets saved, and you're not getting you're not getting the tails or anything. You're not getting the tails because of the color scheme is off. And you might not be seeing the grid lines. It doesn't look right. The colors might be off, right? So I think that's what might be happening to a lot of people. I just lost my... Where's the chat room? I just lost the chat room here.
Sardines? Why do you let a homeless person live here?
I don't know.
Look. Fucking sardines.
Seeing the proper stuff on your thing, right click on the chart, go to properties, and then scroll down. You'll see colors. So make sure your crosshairs, that's how you're going to change everything. Make sure, it's very important that your candles here, wherever they are. Oh, you know what I didn't do right? What you got to do is you got to click on your candles. You can't just click on the chart. Click on your candle. So there's little balls will show up on it, and then right click, and then go to properties. And then you'll see all your stuff, that candle. So make your candle wicks a solid white, or something that you could see. So that's how you're going to adjust all that. So if your charts are not looking exactly the same, it's probably because you're missing some of the trend lines and grid lines. Very easy to find. So hopefully that helps you on that. Is there a bull flag setting up? Well, other than not being enough volume really to get those real strong trends and flags, let's take a look at it. No, it's we need to have that rotation, that pullback. It's just very hard. It looks strong. It looks pretty strong right now. It's just kind of grinded higher. It's embedded. Oh, and the VWAP. So the VWAP, let's talk about that. Now I do have a VWAP on mine, but the thing with NinjaTrader, I think they charge you for certain indicators. Like if you're getting the NinjaTrader through the Bullonox. See, the great thing about the Bullonox or any of the prop accounts, they're giving you the NinjaTrader platform and they're giving you a license to use it. So that's why you're able to do the script on it. But it's not a full license, and you're not able to do certain things with NinjaTrader. And one of the indicators is the VWAP. I think it costs money. But I do believe there's free ones out there, but you have to do your research and search it out. Someone probably has it in the room. Order flow, yeah, there's no order flow or something like that. So, and I have that on mine because I have a professional NinjaTrader. I got the one that is not a trial or not a prop. It's a real one. So if I give you my template, it probably has order flow on it, and it's going to come up saying there's no order flow. You must upgrade to get order flow, and that's why you're getting it, because when I'm sending you the template, it's also sending all my indicators. Sorry about the noise. And then, market going here. So before we were looking at here, pretty decent rotation. That was rotating up too. That was really looking good. Here, let's move that over here. All right. Yeah, some people have it. Thanks, Jeremy. Some people have it. And it's probably pretty easy to find. You just have to look for VWAP, NinjaTrader, free down. I don't know but it's out there. It's pretty easy to find. Yeah, Kurt. And I think what you could do, though, I don't think I have that programmed in. So what you could go to get rid of that is go to your indicators here. Go to order flow down here on the bottom. Oops, it's behind behind this thing. Let me move it up a little. See, it says order flow here. The VWAP order flow. You could just remove that, and then when you remove it, save it. Save your template, so it doesn't reload. Because I think unless you save your workspace. I don't know why I even have that. Well, maybe I have it just because I found it one day. That's nice. I did record a lot of the session tonight, so I am going to send this video out to everyone who's not here tonight. Taking one more look at the markets, because the theme was identifying a channel in the market, and then from those channels we're going to actually see the moves, and we're looking for pivots. And to identify pivots, we have just a couple setups that are going to develop, and when we get a pivot and we take the trade, you take it off on the rotation and the downward trend. Simple as that. If you're 5 minutes on your side, maybe you're going to hold on to it a little longer. Develop that discipline. Don't miss the setups. Don't miss the setups. Very important to make sure you're signed up for the Futures Trade Alert Network, because that's going to be the real golden trades. And everyone who's a member here at Day Trading Radio gets it for free. So